I'm sure. I'm super loud. Yeah. I gotta shut the door. And this wall is like just drywall, so it's not super like this is not too heavy to be a wall.
We don't need to get out our title book. We already wrote homework.
Nope, if you already have your homework written down, you don't need it out. It's always going to be over here for the whole week. So by the way, again, general note, closure answers are in the textbook, or in the ebook, but they're not in your packet. So if you do your closure and you want to check, you can check your answers to your closure. We need your packet out because we're going to check answers on 126 and take any questions. And then we're going to do 127, and one of those lesson problems is in the packet. On Friday, we have a mastery. I will show that mastery to you on Thursday. Yeah. Anybody got any? Oh, we should look at homework answers. Here we go. So 126 should be out. We're asking questions when we figure out that we have them. Please don't hide the fact that you didn't do your homework. I don't care. Just get it done. Make sure you understand what it is. Oh, a lot of people that didn't do it. Guys, the other purpose is make sure we didn't lose it, right? So guys, you have to have work showing on your paper, or else it's gonna be a check minus, maybe even a missing. So if you don't have this done because stuff didn't make sense, quit being a child, ask a question. Children hide when they're scared or broke the lamp or whatever. Like young adults say, help me, I need help, help me. Yeah. 115, I'm so glad you asked, because 115 and 116 got asked about earlier. Oh, 116, yeah, that's perfect. So in 116, we'll go back to the answers in a second, but I already pulled 116 over here. In 116, they tell us that in B, 5/8 of the prizes at the Giant Spin are dolls. So 5/8 would be saying that the 5 is how many dolls. And guys, if you didn't do this problem yet, do it right now. Do it with me. Like you could do at extensions. You can come do math with me. So 5 is my amount of dolls, whereas 8 is my total. They are not asking about dolls, though. They're asking about not dolls. Right? Not dolls. Can I change this fraction to be the fraction that represents the not dolls? If 5 out of every 8 prizes are dolls, 3 out of 8 would be not. So this is not dolls. Right? Does that make sense? How if 5 of them are dolls, 3 of them would not be, because there's 8 total. There are other ways to do this problem. This is not the only way to solve it. Okay, there are there's almost always multiple ways to do math. So now what they ask us is to relate this to a situation where there are 64 total, and total goes on bottom. We're going to use our giant 1 strategy, or what we call multiplicative identity, to say, how do I get from 8 to 64? Anybody? Times 8. What's 3 times 8? I should see pencils going right now, because a lot of people didn't have this done yet. There's 116B done for you. I should have been recording. Well, I got it recorded this morning. Oh, I am recording. Yay. Yay me. Good job, Hudson. A. If 3/10 of the visitors were adults, and there were 100 visitors total, how many visitors were adults? So in this one, it is using the value they gave us. So we would say my fraction of adults is 3 out of 10. right? Maybe this is like school field trip day or something. There's not very many adults. There's more kids. So then we relate it to if there are 100 total. So we know that has to go on bottom because the bottom is our total. How do I go from 10 to 100, Mallory? Times 10, so we do the same on top. We get 30. Back to our answers. I'll tell you there's a problem exactly like 114 on the test. Problem exactly like 115 on the test. I'll show you guys the test on Thursday. I could show it to you today, but I doubt we have time. Just finished writing it today. Any other questions? So guys, I'm hoping that natural consequences kind of help us learn as we get into next week and the week after of like, if you get a progressing on a mastery, which is totally fine, right? We keep promoting progressing's fine. It's normally because you didn't ask questions ahead of time when you sort of felt like iffy, right? Like if you feel iffy, you probably need to practice things or ask about them. Zero? 118C. I gotta go look at it first. Oh, I know what's going on. There we go. So what makes C tricky, and I'm gonna write it bigger up here, is it has two denominators that, if we're using the multiplication table, shouldn't be terrible. Yeah, so if we're going to use 24, what does this multiply by on top and bottom? So it becomes 4 over 24. What's the fraction with 8 on bottom need to multiply by? 3 over 3. You guys, let's get in the habit of saying like on top and bottom, right? So 3 over 3. So this becomes what? And then once we have a common denominator, we keep that common denominator. So make sure we didn't add those together. We keep the 24, and we get 10 24ths, which could reduce down to 5/12ths if you wanted to divide both of them by 2, which we can, but we don't have to. I do not care if you reduce right now. This is just as good as 5/12ths. I do math wrong too. Guys, mistakes just happen. So, like, sometimes when we ask a question, it's like, oh, that was a silly mistake I did. Like, I actually get that. All right, the answers are in the video as well. Keep this out, because we're going to use 127, but I don't think it's the first thing we look at. So take a second to transition if you want. I'm going to switch over into our lesson. Oh, we do use it for the first thing. Anyone want to read for us? Zero pretty much always reads. So does Robert. Yeah, go ahead and read for us. We'll get new people. Yeah. Sorry, Sophia. So far, down through those questions if you want. Guys, let's make sure we give Sophia our respect. Read along with her, just not out loud.
So far in this section, you have looked at probabilities involving one specific desired outcome. Now you will investigate the probability of compound events. Compound events are events with combinations of outcomes. In today's lesson, you will find the probability that either one of the events or the other event occurs. In chapter 5, we will consider the probability
think about these questions. So, how is this probability related to the other probability or probability of a single event? Either what event are we interested in? Does the answer make sense? So, who does chores at home? Even if you don't, you should raise your hand because you should do chores. So, Thomas's parents decided, we're going to use this chore wheel to make chores a bit more fun. You know, parents are always like, we'll make this fun. And you're like, eye roll. It's not fun. Right? Okay, I'm with you. Right? But it's more fun for the parents because they get to spin it and be like, what will they land on? So, what we know, and I would underline or highlight this on your paper, the sections on the spinner for rake leaves and do laundry are the same size. So right here, rake leaves and do laundry. These wedges look like they're the same size, and they are the same size, right? We get told that these are equal. The other thing we know is clean bathroom and vacuum are equal in size, and also that they take up half of the spinner. So actually, if we draw a line down here, I mean, we can pretty much see that that's half the spinner, but also that they tell us that they're equal to each other. I need you and your teammates to work together to fill in our missing parts of our spinner. And guys, we're going to work in fractions today, right? We're practicing fraction stuff. We don't need decimals, don't need percents. Just do everything in fractions today. So the first thing we're going to answer is, what is the probability Thomas is going to do laundry? What's the probability? Shh. Did I say shout out who dies at the end of the movie? No, I did not. And for the record, that was not correct. No. So be careful shouting out answers, because I'll tell you when you're wrong. Then, Thomas hates to clean. I need to change my ringtone. It's like some just default. It's one of those like default Android. Oh yeah, I'm like anti-iPhone, so I've had the same Android for like 5 years. Yeah, and I'm old, so who cares? Thomas hates to clean the bathroom. Ooh, who hates to clean the bathroom? Come on, there's all sorts of like soap scum. And, like, if you share the bathroom with somebody else, like, So, hold up. Hey, friends. So, you can tell your stories once I tell you what you're doing. I don't care. So, if Thomas hates to clean the bathroom, when he spins the spinner, what is the probability he will not clean the bathroom? Guys, I just need you. How we write this is literally P of not bathroom. Like, we will write P of not, right? We say we want anything but the bathroom. It's the not, right? The not situation. I'm going to flip the 5-minute timer and just kind of peruse around. Guys, this is on your homework, which means you're turning it into me. Which means, if you're one of the people trying to do your work on graph paper, you have to turn this in. This is intro, right? You guys have had math explained to you, yeah? There are 3 levels of assignments. Hey, hang on for just a second, guys. There are intro, practice, and mastery. I mainly only grade practice and mastery. If us doing intro during class becomes an issue, I'll start taking intro grades. That's annoying. You end up with more stuff in math. I don't need more stuff in your math, right? I don't need your count going higher. I just need you doing this right now. So there should be writing, there should be work on your paper that I gave you. Understood? That's like as much as I should have to beg you to just write some things down. Cool. Take 5 minutes. Work with your partners. What do you normally do before a fraction? What do you need before you can normally work fractions? How many what? Yeah, what do you call that? When you try to make that 4 and that 3 like 1 before we can make fractions work together. To them, I don't know. You don't need work to support it, so I can't answer your question. Common denominator. Wait, did you say wait? US? Ooh, I see percents though. We didn't want to do percents. I will tell you, the case going on is definitely not a fourth. So I think you need to talk with your teammates here. Wait a minute, this isn't crossing that wrong right now. So Robert, when I say this is our paper, hey, yeah, this is looking here from upside down. Sorry, we should be writing down here beside the circle, but maybe you're doing all you're writing up here. This is not true. I need you to go back and look at it. Okay. So what do we need to do before? Ooh, 24. Yo, announcement for everyone. If you ever need Post-its, highlighters, colored pencils, stuff like that, it's all up here at your disposal. So if you've written wrong work and you want to cross it out or like not erase it, you can grab a Post-it and just like post it over top of it. The main reason we're doing this together is so it can help you on your practice at home. Go ahead, take like one more minute. Yeah. They said they're the same. Okay, well, what about per day? Probably like review laundry. Well, that doesn't matter. We're doing math. This isn't art class.
No, it's to make a denominator.
But we do math to do that. Oh, before I forget, I need these people because I have papers to give you back, and then we have stuff to do. So if I call your name, come up here. CX, this is what made me remember. Nina Cave. Finish that at some point. You can do it outside of class if you want. Eric Kim. Mallory. Sorry, Eric's paper's on there too. Caitlin. Chloe. Avery. I think you were absent. Robert. Katie. Avery, Mallory. Hang in the bin. In the bin. Yeah. Is it like today?
Yeah.
Sweet, I'll get to it when I grade this evening. Mallory and Angel. Another one for you, Mallory. Thank you. Stella. Stella, can you help me out? We're bringing it back together now. Stella, can you help me out with what's the chance of cleaning the bathroom? 25%. Now we said we're working in fractions though, so give me the fraction for that. 1/4, because they had told us it is the same as vacuum. Now, Sophia, I'm going to come back to you for part B, so hang on to your comment for part B. But then, Ava, how can I use that to help me figure out this? Like, we need do laundry right now. We know they're both the same size. How can I? Yeah, chestnut. So, what'd we do? What did you guys do? Ooh, say that number again.
We split it up
Why?
To make it them a common denominator.
We need a common denominator. So when we look at 3 and 4, now I had some people saying 24 would work. Yeah, 24 would work, but so does 12. So if I make this a 12 on bottom, guys, this work should be on your paper. How? We do times 3. So we also do times 3 up here, giving us 3/12. Meaning if this is the same, it's also 3/12. What does 1/3 need multiplied by to become 12ths?
4.
Times 4.
On the top and the bottom.
Yeah, times 4 over 4. So it becomes 4/12. Guys, make sure that on your paper you have it showing how we get 1/4 into 3/12. How we get 1/3 into 4/12. And if I add up what we have 3/12 plus 3/12, there's my right hand side, plus 4/12 for cleaning the bedroom. How many 12ths in total? 10 12ths. Now I forget if it was in this class or the morning class, but guys, if somebody brings out a pie, and they're like, here's an entire pie, and it's cut into 12ths, how many slices should it have? 12. If it doesn't, somebody ate one. You should demand a refund. So how many slices are we missing? 2 12ths. So if we're missing 2 12ths, sorry that 2 looks a little funky, what are the size of these? 1/12 each. So 1/12 chance for rake leaves and a 1/12 chance for do laundry. Any questions? Same spinner. Part B asked about what are the chances of not cleaning the bathroom. Sophia, you want to talk about that? Yeah.
So, I figured this out pretty much instantaneously.
Weird flex, but okay.
Do this because it's the same as vacuum, so 1/4, which means there are 3/4 remaining in one bowl. So I figured, okay, so 3/4 is the answer of the probability of him not cleaning the bathroom.
So hold on. The first thing Sophia did was she backed up to the initial kind of easier fraction, and she said, clean bathroom, we got told was 1/4 because it's the same as vacuum. Because that's an easier fraction to work with. Then she said, if this section is 1/4, how'd you know the rest of it would be 3?
Because 4/4 is one whole, and I didn't ask for a specific amount.
Because Sophia said, I need to make the whole. Guys, I got a lot of eyes up here. Or a lot of eyes not up here. And to make a whole pie, if the denominator is 4, the numerator needs to be 4. So she said, okay, well, this has to be something over 4. What does it need to be? 3. So she found out 3/4 is everything else. Now part C, and you don't have this problem in front of you. Or not part C, but the next problem. So it's fall, right? And I asked the morning class, they said Worthington has leaf collection, right? So have your parents ever said, you gotta rake the leaves tonight, they're coming tomorrow to pick them up.
No.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, they come around with a giant truck with a vacuum on it and a grinder, and they vacuum them up and they run them through a grinder, and then it turns into like compost. They can go put it and like it's good for the ground. So Thomas's aunt really hopes that he rakes up the leaves because they're coming. But also his bedroom's a disaster. So she would be happy if he either raked leaves or cleaned his bedroom. What are the chances that she ends up happy? So essentially, we want either. I need you and your team to talk about how do we figure out either. Right? So either rake leaves or or clean the bedroom, because his bedroom's a disaster. Both of those would make her happy. Chat with each other, write it down on your paper. However, you got work. For this one or for the last one? Then just do it over here. I don't care. Just do it somewhere. It's okay if you don't watch it over here. You just figured out that just this wedge is 1/12. Now we want to say, what's the chance of landing here or here? Does that make sense? What? 35. Okay, because that's what they get on 70. No, I said this is the same spinner, but this problem's not in the pattern. We're all doing the pattern. The spinner in the packet because it is in the packet. You can see the fractions and see the sizes. You asked me a question and I answered it for you. You didn't say I argued with you about something. Then I would just say no. CX, what's up? Unethical. What do you mean? Can you repeat that for everyone? Yeah. You're good, bud. So, CX is going to walk us through what he did because it's absolutely right. He said he thought it was sort of unethical, but no, it's totally fine. Yeah, and I think we're using that word slightly wrong. But that's a Mr. Estes conversation about ethics. Seriously, that's a connections topic. So, talk us through, CX. What'd you do?
So I split it all up into fourths, and then there are 3/12 in each fourth. So clean bedroom takes up 4/12, and then 4/12.
Yeah, which we also, just pause real quick, we also should already have written down somewhere. You should have this also supporting what CX is saying. Of this, the clean bedroom takes up 4/12. Okay, so clean bedroom 4/12. Continue.
So, and then I added the 1/12 from the rake leaves, and I got 5/12.
Oh yeah, 'cause we just figured out that rake leaves is a 1/12. So actually, when I walked over to CX's paper, here's what he had, and I loved it. He had 1/3 plus 1/12, and then he essentially had like some adaptation of this. Then he essentially had, it really becomes 4/12 plus 1/12, and we get 5/12. So guys, on your homework tonight where we start practicing adding fractions and subtracting them, what's the most important thing? Yeah, common denominators. Common denominators are the most critical thing and the mistake most people make. Vera?
The way I actually did that is I just looked at the 1/3 and was like, okay, that's 4/12. And then I added the rake leaves.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways, right? If we all end up in Florida, doesn't matter how we got there, we're going to Disney.
Oh, I'm actually going to Disney this February.
Nice. Stuart. Guys, Stuart needs our help. Hey, I think we talked about yesterday about how I can just keep track of time and let you go to extensions late and things like that. And I don't really want to do that, but that's my strategy when I have to stand up here and waste a bunch of time. So Stuart has forgotten his pencil. Now, Miss Newen lets her kids borrow a writing utensil during quiz days when they forget them. I don't know why she wouldn't on normal class days, but whatever. So today, her bag has this for wooden pencils. She knows that 1 out of every 3, and this is not on your packet.
Hi, please excuse this interruption. I need Debbie Kisling and Cooper Florence to the office. Thank you.
This is not on your packet, so go ahead and somewhere, probably graph paper, maybe if there's some space on your packet, write down 1 out of 3 is wooden pencil. Or you could write P, like probability of wood, if you want. So if I write this in the formal math way, P of wood. Guys, and keep this paper for tomorrow, because we're not going to write a ton on this. We should not be using a new sheet every single day. P of wood is 1/3. 2 out of every 5 students.
Good afternoon, Phoenix. Anna Sturts, please stop by the office for just a moment. Anna Sturts, please stop by the office for just a moment. Thank you.
Goodbye, Mallory. Probability of mechanical pencils, 2 out of 5. The rest of the bag is pens. Bum, bum, bum. No eraser. No eraser. So, if Stuart reaches into the bag, I need you to get all 3 things. Notice we only wrote down 2 so far. All 3 fractions to where we can compare them with each other. So what do we need to be able to compare fractions with each other? Common denominators. So get all these to a common denominator. Notice that we're missing the 3rd one. That's part of your job. I'm going to write these down here again, so I got them in a better space. Pen is mightier than the sword, but the pencil is best for me. It's like a saying, the pen is mightier than the sword. Like, that written word has a lot of strength.
Oh, yeah.
But the pen or the pencil is best for math. Ooh, it seems like we're ready to move on. Let's have this done. Alright, random cards time. Ooh, all of you I've called on naturally. Landon. You're good. What is our common denominator we're going to use here? 15. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down here with pen, just because we went ahead and decided that. So, Angel, up here, to get this into 15, what do I multiply by? 5 over 5. He even said it right. Good job, man. Set over. So this becomes 5/15. And guys, I have a lot written up here. I'm going to go ahead and put this in a box so I can keep track of it. Because I need that one. It's important. Phoebe, what do I multiply my 2/5 by?
I'm still figuring it out.
What does 3 multiply by to become 15? It's okay if you want to pass. But... Okay. Chloe. 3. Yeah. So 6/15. So then, Daniel, if I have 5/15 and 6/15, how many 15ths do I have together? 11/15, meaning I'm missing. Now wait, if I didn't, okay. Because what we do in class is teaching it to you, that probably felt a little bit easier. What we all did was we said 1 minus 11/15 can't happen unless I change my 1 into 15/15 minus 11/15 because any 1.
I'm sorry for the interruption. Can I please have Lacey Abbott to the office? Lacey? Thank you.
I can make 1, I can switch a 1 into any number over itself. You're gonna need to do this on your homework, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So then we get 4/15. I don't know what just happened with that. Because the screen hopped on me. 4/15. I bet I can just let you guys go ahead and start your homework with each other. Yep. Yeah, go ahead and start your homework. Yeah. Yep. You are good. Alright, I passed back papers. Oh, hey, you want to see the test? You guys can work on your homework, but I'm done with the test, so.
Can I go get a sip of water?
Yeah, you're fine, man. Alright, here you go. Oh, that's not it. Nope, that's last year's test. Because I realize what's wrong with it and I make it better.